Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to tonight's broadcast of VALORANT over here on twitch.tv/Fresno State ES, as we are finally back after a couple of weeks as we prepare you for tonight's match between the Fresno State Red team, as they are finally back over here on the mainstream, as they are now taking on the LBCC Vikings. Now, it's been a minute since we last seen the Dogs. Last time we broadcasted them, they came in with a 1-1 record, but dropped to a 1-2. Actually, last time we saw them was well over that, because last time we saw this team was all the way back in week number 2. And in that match, it was against CSU Domingo Hills. Well, a lot has kind of happened since we last saw the Dogs, because what's happened to them is they took on USC, and unfortunately, they not only took on UC San Diego Gold, they unfortunately fell to them. They also took on USC Cardinal last week, which was a game that unfortunately had to be rescheduled. And unfortunately, they lost to them in a 2-0 fashion. The first one, really close. The second map, we are not going to talk about. But the Dogs, they are looking for a bounce back this week. And it could not have came at a more perfect time. As Fresno State, they are looking to bounce back against LBCC. So with Fresno State currently coming on in with a 1-4 record, they're looking to bounce back big against an LBCC team that has won 2 games on the season. Their first win was against Sacramento State Green in week number 2 of the season. Their first win came against CSU's San Marco Blue in a 2-1 fashion that went to the final map. So I'm excited to see RLBC can be able to make it to a 500 record, or the Dogs can be able to finally bounce back after losing 4 consecutive, a lot of them in just really bad fashion. I'm excited to see how the Dogs are able to perform. Both teams are entering the lobby. Just got to know, broadcasting for Fresno State Sports. All right, we're good. We go ahead and let them know on our end. But while we're waiting for the teams to jump on in, let's go ahead and take a look at your starting 6 for tonight. That's right, I said 6 because Fresno State does have 6 teams, 6 on the team. So, starting off the roster, you obviously have your IGL in Vince Cow. Typically primarily playing on the Killjoy, but has been experimenting a lot with other agents as well. In addition to that, we do also have Leaf and Skies coming on through as well. Leaf, most recently known for playing more of an initiator role, has switched over to more of a controller role. Skies and Sushi are your main initiators for the roster. And then you also do have a double duelist in both Ralph and Gozu, always set up and ready to go. Looking at the roster right now, we're not too sure who is going to be that 5th starting one as of yet. We are just waiting to see. It looks like we are going to be having Ralph starting things off for Fresno State instead of Gozu. We shall see. And then hopefully from there, I think they still are expecting one member to jump on in. So you never know what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the night, which then brings us over to the agent select. Let me go ahead or to our map select. Let's see. All right, so that's going to bring us over to our first map of the night, which if we go ahead and take a look at the map picks and bans, they banned Icebox, which means for starting things off, we are going to be heading over to their map selection, which is going to be Ascent. And Ascent is a common pick we have seen in NECC. It's up there with the starting 3, with Ascent, Haven. Oh, sorry about that. Ascent Haven, as well as one last pick in. Trying to think of the name, but it's not coming to mind. Sorry, chat. I am coming to a big flat goose egg. I cannot think of the map name. Pine, Fracture, Breeze, Haven, Icebox. No, those are like the main ones you've typically been seeing. Bind got banned, Freak Breeze is out of the picture. Split just came back in, so I've been seeing that as much as I was hoping we would. Man, have I been seeing Icebox more than other stuff? I just realized that. Icebox is also like a key map a lot of teams have been going to as well, other than the typical bind pick we would typically see. And unfortunately for State, bind was also one of those like go-to maps. So seeing that in the rotation, it is kind of tough. And I believe with that, Fresno State picked up Split as their map selection. We're going to go ahead and see how things come into fruition. We are still waiting for one more player to join on up, and then we will be able to get things started. For LBCC, for the Vikings, we have Thermo, Chia, Ghoul, Carbon, and Ika Fan. Their average rank is around a Mortal 1. They do have one member that is Ascendant 3. So, we'll see how things play out. And for those of you that are wondering, no, Gecko is currently not available in play as of yet. He will be available after 2 weeks' time. So it looks like our final player has been able to go into the lobby. We should be able to jump into Ascent at any moment, and then we'll go ahead and bring you over to the Agent Select. But I'm personally excited to see how Fresno State plays, because they had a really tough match against USC, and I think that is kind of like the kick in the butt they kind of needed in order to kind of like be able to like step things back up. I think it was an opportunity for them to realize, hey, we go in with a certain composition, and unfortunately for us, it's just not working out. They have been getting more in with more of a double initiator, double smoke. All right, so I have the rest of the picks. I'll go ahead and bring those in as we wait for them to select. But no, I'm excited to see if they do make any changes. Based on what I haven't seen from the agents they have been playing lately, we may be seeing a change come in from Vince. He's been trying to make an argument for one certain composition, but we'll see if the attributes come into fruition. Because the Dogs, they need to step up in a big way. Because right now they are currently at the bottom of the leaderboard in NECC play. Right now they're currently sitting at the 9th position, being one of the only teams other than Sacramento State Green that come in with a 1-4 record on the season. And as for LBCC, them and UCR Gold are coming on in with a 2-3 record. They're currently tied for the 6th spot. And note, one thing taking into consideration as we are now halfway through the season, heading into week number 6, one thing to keep in mind is that the top 8 in the division will advance on into playoffs. So for Fresno State, this match is a crucial one, because if they can win this match, that does win them the tiebreaker over both Sacramento State Green and LBCC, who are fighting for that 7th, 8th position spot. If they win, that bumps them up right now to the 7th seed. Sure, their map differential doesn't look the best, but they will have a tiebreaker advantage. And if they can win big, that just opens up the doors even more, because that lowers the round differential side of things as well. So hopefully Fresno State, they're looking to bounce back. And it looks like both teams are set up and ready to go. We will be going to Ascent first. Following Ascent, Fresno State did actually pick Fracture, something we haven't been seeing out of Fresno State. We've been seeing it a lot out of Fresno State Blue, but not so much out of Red. So I wonder if they have been cooking in the kitchen a little bit, maybe trying to come up with something a little bit different. And then finally, for the deciding map, it is going to be Pearl, where we will be ending things off. And I'm looking at the Agent Select, and guys, we are seeing something we haven't seen in a very, very long time. We're taking a look at the Agent Select, and your eyes are not deceiving. Vince Cow was locked in on Chamber, and they took it away from us. Unfortunately, someone disconnected. Oh, you see it there at the bottom. Someone unfortunately crashed. Well, bad news is, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. But the good news is, we do have a switch. And hey, it gives me time to talk about it at least. Heading on into Ascent, Vince is coming back in on the Chamber. This is going to be our first time seeing Chamber get picked by Fresno State since last season when Fresno State entered in the grand finals against SFU. This is huge. Just because Vince... No, last time Fresno State were in this position, the reason Vince played so much Chamber last semester, he basically insta-locked Chamber for a majority of the NECC season last season, was because he felt like Chamber was A, he was still in a busted spot, but B, he felt like he was the crucial difference maker between winning and losing. Similar to like VCT play, if you didn't pick the Chamber, you were trolling. And Vince felt exactly that same instance heading into like around the halfway point of the season. And it looks like Vince feels confident enough to be like, hey, I know he's not the strongest. His CP has been completely changed. His trademark, not as strong. Overall, Chamber as an agent is not nearly as strong. But it looks like Vince has the confidence to bring Chamber back in. Which now brings us back into the agent select. Let's go ahead and head on back as both teams are loaded back in and ready to go. You see it there. The usual composition for Fresno State minus the Sentinel change coming on in for Vince Cow. Ralph going to be the initial duelist for Fresno State to start things out. Skies and Sushi are going to be your initiators setting on into the match, with Skies being on the Sova and Sushime playing on the KO. And then on the side of LBCC, you see Thermo going to be playing on the Sentinel. They are running the nice double, actually same thing as Fresno State, a double initiator comp. With Ghoul staying with the strong point of this map, which will be Omen as their primary controller. Carbon and Ika's Superfan both on the initiator. Carbon opting for the fade. Ika for the KO, which I do like. You can go with either fade or Sova, especially after the fade nerfs that happened after the previous season. But already off rip, it's going to be Vint or Ralph getting the first pick, and he's going to be forced to play back. And the Frayed Prowler unfortunately doesn't reach all the way, so already Fresno State put themselves at a number advantage. Look for Ika, though, to have to play the main initiator here. No jet means no dive to try to push on through. So they're going to have to heavily rely on that KO to be that primary point of contact. But as you see, we do have a couple people at mid looking to shift over, but Vince, he's got it spotted. Leaf playing back is going to be held up as well. A rotate coming on through, though. Vince holding inside here, does have a frenzy in hand. Able to TP out with 15 HP, but he's decayed. And Carbon plays off it perfectly. The C's gonna secure him down. Leaf spots the position of one, but it's gonna be forced to play back. Smoke's coming on through. Thermo playing under hell. But it's gonna be Leaf getting a double. No trace out to be coming on in from LBCC. Never mind, here comes Thermo. And now it brings it down to a 1v1. Leaf. One smoke to work with in about 2 seconds. The Paranoia going to come on through, but Leaf is just going to swing off of it. And that 1v1 goes in favor of the Dogs. And And a post-kill ace as Leaf able to pick off 4 of his own. And it's going to be the dogs that are going to be up on the board to start things off. And I like the reposition LBCC did play there. Able to kind of come on through away from main after their initial push did get pushed away. But it was just such a nice, easy push coming on through into Cubby. And they know Vince on the chamber can no longer be able to TP that far away. So it's just a perfect seize coming on through. And already off rip, it is a strong aggressive push coming on through by LBCC. But it's Leaf once again shutting things down at mid. They have full control of the side, but Leaf not at much HP. And Skies and Leaf, the main anchors. Go only has a classic in hand, doesn't have much to work with. This first engage though gonna have to be crucial coming on in through for Che. Knows where the spike's at. Do they know where Leaf's at? Yes, they do. And with that initial swing from Skies, the recon ball is gonna spot Ghoul and he's gonna shut him down. Skies in the 1v2 clutch, Ares in hand. And the round saved by Skies. Leaf able to preserve things for the short time being. And even despite giving himself away, it is going to be Skies able to save it once again for the dogs. But it did hurt the dogs a little bit. Their economy not in the best position. 3 of them forced to eco. And LBCC, they're going to have full rifles. But Ralph, he is just pushing through. He does not care. Force the Spectre, but it goes in his favor. But Vince, he's overextended. He's picked off at mid. Trying to play a position up on Catwalk. And he's going to be punished for it. And you see the spike making its way over to B. Numbers in favor of LBCC. As they're pushing their way to B, the only one able to contest is Skies. And he's all the way in the back of sight. Here's the dash coming on through. He sees the paranoia as well. He's going to get spotted by the 0 point. But unfortunately won't be able to capitalize much more off of that.
Spike planted.
Sheriff's in hand for both Leaf and Sushi as they try to make an advance onto the site. The first crossfire is going to go into position of potentially either Ghoul or Che. Ica, here's the flash. No one playing off of it as of yet. Here comes the 0 point. It is going to be able to spot 2 as no one shoots it off. No position given away. Ghoul, yet to swing. He's swinging off contact now. He's going to be able to spot both. And he's going to be able to punish both as well. Good positioning here.
Cover going out.
And due to lack of weapons, the dogs go down. And the lead cut in half. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard heading into the 3rd round. I think it's pretty much even for the most part for the side of LBCC, but Leaf been starting things off strong with 7 kills coming off those first 2 rounds. But Ralph does have 2 first bloods heading into this already.
Shutting them down.
And the 0 point going to come on through. But a good flash coming on through for the side of LBCC. And that's going to force Fresno State to play and retreat back. 4 of the 5 members playing up on A. But hold up, we do have a little bit of repositioning coming on through for the side of LBCC. Che not engaging through as of yet.
Here.
I'm waiting for maybe potentially a Lear coming on through for the fade, but no, the spike. It's actually going to rotate back to mid. And Skies just jump peeking on the back of sight. Shot spraying on through. And the smoke from Fresno State doesn't give any information for the side of LBCC. But Vince, he's already got an op and he's taking position. And he's taking names. Spots a little bit of an overextension, and here's the 0 point coming on through, and that's going to give Fresno State enough information. They know that here comes the plant for LBCC.
Spike planted.
And the paranoia comes on through.
Face your fear.
And Leaf, he's coming on through. He's going to be able to get one. A good headshot from Sushi, though, playing up. No, it's just one potentially down below. It's going to throw the fragment. It's going to be perfect.
One enemy remaining.
It's going to get Shade down to enough damage.
Last
1v2.
player standing.
Make it a 1v1 as Ghoul takes the swing. Takes out 2. And that is a 2v1 for Ghoul.
Need a drop.
Our second clutch we've seen on the map. But this time it goes in favor of the Vikings. And in the first true gun round for both teams, both on even playing field, it's going to go in favor of the Vikings. And that's going to cost Fresno State 2. Because Vince forced all the way up to an op. And he's just going to stick, and he's going to try to play for an op again. And Ralph, he's going to try to play aggressive here, but it won't go for anything as Aika is able to easily take him out. Sushi overextended. Going to be taken out here. Leaf taking position here at med. Does have Aika low, but won't be able to do enough damage. And that's going to be an easy push for LBCC. Leaf not contesting. Does able to spot Che, though, so that is one gun down. They do have one member low. But the question is it going to be enough? Sky's able to pick up the operator. So, I'm going to be honest, that's not going to be very much helpful for Skies. He's going to opt to just take the op, maybe? Leaf going to be spotted by the Prowler. And a whole lot of utility coming on through. Going to be spotted by the Lear as well. And he's just going to be sprayed on through. Sky's going to be remaining on the complete other side of the map. Holding on to the op with his life. But here comes the rest of LBCC hunting him down. And Skies, he's going to just have to try to stay alive as long as he can. Has one member low, able to pick him off. Trying to run away with his life. He does the spot Ghoul on the right side of him, unfortunately. So the op is going to go down. Is it going to be saved in time? No, it won't. And they do have Thermal with enough in economy as well as Ghoul too by the op, but Che gonna save the economy. I mean, they do have enough if they did want to give the op to Che. But I think they're just sticking with their guns here. Vince playing a position here, looking for a pick here at mid. Whereas it looks like the rest of LBCC looking for a hard push heading into A. The 0 point coming on through, and here comes the Prowler as well. And LBC looking to hard push in. No smokes to kind of push back any push. Here comes the smokes. Here comes 0 point. Aika immediately takes Ralph out. Vince peeking out of the smoke. The cloud smoke not going to be enough. A good flash from Sushi. They know the position of one, but it won't matter. It's one by one. The dogs are slowly falling. Leaf held down by the C's. Spot Che up on top, able to get the one, but Carbon able to spray it down from below. And that is 4 consecutive for the side of the Vikings. And off that, Fresno State going to call a timeout here. As this composition for Fresno State, it favors them on the defense. But right now, they're just getting absolutely steamrolled. They haven't been able to hold up much. I mean, Leaf has been doing a phenomenal job of getting his ones, getting the picks of his own. But for the rest of the team, they haven't been able to conserve much. The only thing working for them, they have maybe an opportunity here. They do have a lot of ults. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Tour de Force get into play by Vince. Maybe potentially the Blade Storm coming on through from Ralph as well. But LBC gonna come on in with plenty of economy. able to buy for at least the next 3 rounds, potentially more, if they're able to just pull off a couple picks of their own. And on a map like this where it's heavily defensive sided, Fresno State have switchings up. And it's going to come down to if Vince is able to get the shots he needs. And it's going to have to start here with this starting position with a tour de force. And the recon dart, unfortunately, not going to spot anything as LBCC, they're taking position up at mid. And Fresno State, they did kind of force up a little bit. Bladestorm not popped out by Ralph as well, so we'll take that in consideration. Vince still taking a big angle here up at A main. But the push right now is making its way through mid. The trademark is going to be able to spot the push. Bladestorm is now active. But they gotta watch out. Vince, he doesn't take the shot though. And with the paranoia coming on through, it's forcing Vince to rechange his position, but he doesn't cower away from the fight. He's gonna take the first engage here, but he loses to Che.
I know exactly.
And now it's a free push. The Neuro Theft is gonna spot the remaining members of Fresno State. Che taking down
30
one.
seconds left.
Sushi gonna be spotted once again. The flash comes on through, but it's not gonna matter.
Spike
Che
planted.
reads the play perfectly. Down to Vince in a 1v5. And the Lyric gonna know his position. Able to take out one though. But it's gonna be tough.
Cover going out.
This position is just perfect for LBCC. And the spray is coming on through, and Thermo able to get the headshot. And LBCC able to convert their 5th straight. And things are looking rough for the Dogs. They had a good game plan in mind, but the slow, methodical play that came in from LBCC, unlike anything we saw from them previously. And Vince looking to take an even bigger position, forced to just TP away as the Nightfall comes through. He's going to have the first engage, but he's going to go down. And another good seize comes on through as well. As the decay went away for Skies, it went down. And Jay, he's just picking off Fresno State one by one with this operator he has yet to drop. Sushi able to get one, but the sheriff shot's not enough. And it's LBCC continuing to put up a string of rounds as they reach 6. And something I would keep in mind, Fresno State, they have been struggling to get those first kills. We look for Ralph, we look for Vince to be able to come up with those to give them the opportunity. Even if they are just able to make it a 1-for-1 trade, those have been like the big help for the Dogs. But unfortunately, the Dogs, they just haven't been sufficient in getting those first bloods. And that's just because the way these initiators have been playing flashes have been forcing Ralph for Vince to be blinded. A Haunt, a Prowler, a Nightfall, a Decay, this whole entire Fade utility forces you to play back and away from the fight. And we're looking at this A-side hit, and unfortunately Vince can be smoked off. Any opportunity Fresno State has, they're just going to play for retake. Vince gonna be held up by the C's, gonna be sprayed on through, but luckily is gonna be able to keep up a majority of his health. And the 0 point gonna be able to spot a couple on the side of Fresno State, so a couple are gonna remain suppressed. It's gonna have to be a perfect 5v5 retake. But unfortunately for the Dogs, this retake is not going in their favor. Sky is able to get his one, but once again, not enough. as LBCC are holding the angles up to mint condition. And the dogs, they're just struggling. I mean, like, they try to make a shift, look to prioritize mid. I mean, you had Leaf, you had Skies, you had everyone watching mid. Even Vince putting up a tree. But that was just a straight up baseline hit. Now you look at Fresno State watching everyone going to A. And right now, they're just taking position up on each side and no one watching mid once again. And you're looking at the economy too, Vince. He's brought back to his headhunter, which is essentially a pocket guardian, but even then, not in the same position as it was once before.
Teleport's ready.
Let's see if Ralph is going to be able to come away with something. Paranoia comes on through. This fragment is going to help out a little bit. And it's going to be able to switch numbers into Fresno State's favor for the first time in a while. Che taking position up at mid in this 2v5 situation for LBCC. He's trying to swing out, but Skies pops out at the perfect time. And they know where this last man is at. Vince taking a couple shots with the headhunter, and he's going to connect as he hits the head of his own. A free operator in favor of the dogs, and that's a thrifty round.
That works.
And a crucial round that, I'm going to be honest, I didn't think was going to go in the dogs' favor. I mean, luckily, this is one thing I'll give Fresno State. When they have a plan in mind, they don't try to shift away. With this playstyle of LBCC, you gotta just wait and see what their move is. And it worked out perfectly for Fresno State, as they played right into their hands. And here we go, a little bit of momentum coming on for the dogs as Vince, he finally gets his first blood that he's been waiting for. And that haunt, it's not going to spot Vince. And he's still holding this high position here. And if the smoke dissipates at the right time, never mind, he doesn't have position up on Che. Che is going to be spotted though. Headhunter shots coming on through. And the shorty alongside with Skies is going to be able to take him out. Thermo pushing on up alongside Carbon.
Cage triggered.
And Carbon able to spot out Ralph and takes out Sushi as well. And this 4v2 quickly becomes a 2v2. A rotate coming on in from Carbon, who has a lot of utility to work with. Has his Prowler, has a Seize, and does have a Haunt available as well. The Shark Dart doesn't spot him, but he is down to 10 HP. The Seize doesn't connect though. He is going to be spotted by the Haunt though. Force retreat back, but it's Vince with an operator able to get the second. But Vince, he's going to be able to shoot through the square block there. And with Carbon unfortunately down to 10 HP, he just had to be sneezed on. And that heavy sniper bullet of the op was just enough, as the dogs are getting in a little bit of a groove here on the defense finally. Despite dropping 7 consecutive. Fresno State finally able to come up with 2 consecutive. Have an opportunity to at least get this to a possible 5-8, 5-7.
Face your fear.
And with the Nightfall coming through though, Vince, he tries to take a shot and kind of gets too greedy here. Leaves guys all alone who's stuck paranoid. He's able to get one, but is going to be taken out. And that could easily be a res on Ica.
I know exactly where you are.
Spray's coming on through for Leaf. Ica back up and is at 100 HP. The Neural Theft is going to be able to ping one more time on Fresno State's position. Actually, never mind, it's not because of this lockdown. Unfortunately, Thermo with an op. Gonna be able to take him out.
player standing.
And what is Sushima and Ralph gonna be able to do? And unfortunately, they're not gonna be able to do anything. Carbon comes on through for the flank and cleans
Switching
things
sides.
up. And the scoreline is gonna end up being 4-8 in favor of the Vikings. But luckily, we did see some signs of life coming on through for Fresno State as we head on in, as we make the switch. My only concern is with having the chamber, you don't get the same value as you would out of, like, per se, a Killjoy. Killjoy is probably, Ascent is Killjoy's best map. And by switching over to the chamber, yes, you are able to get some picks and play favorable for the post map potentially. But even then, I don't think it's worth it considering what you can get out of the Killjoy. Especially for like flank watch with the turn, with the alarm bot. Ralph able to get the first blood as he be able to swing things on through. It's Ica and Ghoul holding it down. Ghoul's still alive. Takes out Vince, and that leaves it all up to Skies. Looking to play on into the smoke, but Thermo, he's ready for it. Takes him out with the headshot. And that is a good pistol round coming on through for LBCC as they're able to reach 9. And now, our Fresno State, they need to play the smart. You're gonna need to hit fast, you need to hit quick, but it's gonna need to be effective.
I'm done with Cypher's secrets.
But it's gonna be tough, because Ica holding it up here with a Vandal forced. Taking a couple peeks. Didn't invest a lot into it. He's gonna be flashing his forced retreat back. Carbon, though, is able to spray onto Vince through the smoke. And Fresno State's looking to push on through. And they're able to reach the site. But this is going to be dangerous because Ica, like I said, has that Vandal. And this is going to be a major threat here for the Dogs. Especially with this one-shot potential. Che already able to take down one. The Prowler is going to spot Leaf down below. Leaf going to be nearsighted and sprays coming on through upon him. A flawless round coming on through for LBCC.
Flawless.
As the defuse comes on through. A spot on retake for LBCC.
That's a joke.
And they're going to be the first to reach double digits. And Fresno State heading into that. You want to try damage to the economy, just make it as favorable for you heading into this bonus round for LBCC. Because not only does it give you creds to where you would be able to force up into full shields and not have like someone like Ralph at Hal, but it takes rifles out of their hands. Like Carbon there, alongside Che, already doing damage to Fresno State. And now it's the rest of LBCC pushing on up as if they're on the attack. In Ica, they're converting perfectly. As they're able to convert onto the bonus, it sets themselves up perfectly. Heading into this round 16.
Need a drop.
Basically, rifles against pistols. And after this, it's match point for LBCC. With ease. And I said this attack is going to be tough for the Dogs. Especially on a map
Right here.
that favors
Right here.
the defense so much. And you see it there as Che takes out Vince once again. And right now, it's just the Dogs looking to play through. Gonna be spotted here. Goal's gonna have the first engage. Comes on through off the paranoia.
Strike down A.
Able to get one before getting traded on out. But Thermo holding up on site
One
on
enemy
his
remaining.
own. He's able to do this so even with the Bulldog. Spots Leaf. Not able to take him out though. And yeah, that's not gonna help out much. And that is sets up now map point for LBCC. Fresno State forcing up as much as you can, and this needs to be flawless. You need to save as much of this economy as you can, because it can't be broken for the rest of the way through. And we're looking at this first engage. Che, unfortunately, tries to move this out, but is going to be spotted by the recon bolt and is forced to retreat back. Fresno State playing it slow. And as the Aldron makes its way through, gonna get this spot the head? Yes, it does.
Right here.
But are they gonna get this crucial pick they have been waiting for? No, they don't. That's gonna be cool. Playing on through from mid, and once again, it's LBCC holding things up to a T. All their I's dotted, all their T's crossed. A perfect defense set for LBCC. Shuts down, ending in a 13-4 scoreline. Off of Ascent, we take a look at the scoreboard. After a tough map for Fresno State. And man, Che. 5 first bloods, Ica with 4. And a lot of those especially came on the defense. As Ica held down a like Fort Knox for LBCC. And right now, this is bad territory for Fresno State. As we head into map number 2. And LBCC, they're riding on a high right now. They have all the momentum you want. Especially when you're heading onto a map like Fracture. But, here's the advantage Fresno State has. They have 0 film on you heading into this next map. Who knows what Fresno State has planned, especially with Fracture coming into play. Maybe they've seen some things, because so far for Fresno State Blue, Fracture has been their go-to map. And it has favored them as they've been able to come away with a couple. But the question is it going to be enough? But this gives us an opportunity to take a little break. Gives us a chance to just settle down. As Fresno State looks to maybe have a comp change. We'll go ahead and see. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we'll go ahead and talk about Fracture. As Fresno State, they are looking to bounce back, force a map number 3. We're going to be back after a short, quick little break. And we are back on in. So, as we experienced there, Fresno State just fell to LBCC on map number 1, but map number 2 is shortly on the horizon. Let's go ahead and talk about what's next, because after Ascent, we just witnessed, we now head on over into Fresno State's pick. And we got a little bit of a change. We would typically see a Haven get picked for the Dogs, but that is not the case right now. We are actually going to be heading on over into Fracture. One of the most complex maps, but it has one of the more open metas we have seen over through VCT play over NECC play. Because this opens up so many avenues for smokes. This brings in the opportunity to bring in a Breach into play. This is Breach's strongest map for a reason. The way he can just utilize his fault line. His splashes, especially in the close quarters combat Fracture offers. And then just the Rolling Thunder able to clear out sights. And that threat from either side, either on A or B, has so much attack potential, so many executes, as well as for the post plan as well. Because you set it up right, it leaves the defense just stunned. And then we've seen so many compositions come on through as well, because with the reworks we've seen off of Fracture, we've seen Brim not play as much, but rather we've seen Asher come to play, Harbor we've seen come into play, even Viper has been part of the meta. And as we go ahead and take a look at our agent select here as we make our way through into map number 2, we'll go ahead and take a look at the agent select. Let me go ahead and switch things over. And hold up, game is dead. There we go, you guys are able to take a look. And for Fresno State, they're bringing back in the chamber. And there could be some potential here. This used to be one of the other maps chamber was really strong at before he unfortunately got nerfed to the ground. But even then, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I still think maybe a Killjoy could be better heading into this if you did want a Sentinel. But again, Fresno State, we don't know what to expect. Maybe this is something that we don't know about. We'll find out. For both teams coming on in with both a Brim as the controller, Fresno State, they're going to be playing off the Jet with Gozu not in the lineup just yet. Che going to be playing for the Rays instead. And Fresno State, they're looking at a split push. But even despite the flash that comes on through, Sushi's going to get the first blood. But Carbon giving up a little bit of damage as Fresno State are getting pushed back from this back side. And now it's LBCC on the chase as the side's making its way over to B.
There.
And Sky's going to be taking this position up at Canteen. The rest playing up on Tower. Aika looking for a post-plant position. As the smoke dissipates. Leaf holding the single as Ralph is there to swing off of the engage. The Haunt's going to come on through. It's going to be shot out. And this is a perfect engage for LBCC. But do they expect Skies playing this position? Do they expect 2 up on Tower? Yes, they do. They're able to swing this away perfectly off the flawless retake in their favor.
This is no problem.
And the defuse going to come on through with an easy 6 seconds left. And it's LBC that are going to be first up on the board once more. LBC came on in aggressive. It didn't come through. But they played it perfectly. As the rest of the team, they were coming on through from this back side. Heading on into attacker side of bridge. And were able to pick off Fresno State before they could even push into bench.
Yes, this should do.
And then with the fault line available for Carbon, both teams gonna get stunned, but it's gonna be Che that comes out through with the initial push.
Spike down B.
And Fresno State able to do a little bit of damage, but leave Leaf
Last
all
player
alone next to
standing.
Spike. And now, unfortunately, it's just gonna be Vince, who's all alone. Gonna be spotted by Carbon. Takes a shot, only 2 shot steps in the headhunter. He has no way of picking up this gun, because they know exactly where Vince is at. And it was expected. Just because the way LBCC plays, especially when they do have the economic advantage on the defense,
Right
they
here.
play very aggressive. They have been setting the tempo so far, and it has not helped out the dogs at all. And once Vince speaks out, he's going to be engaging on 3. But Carbon going to get the shot off with a head shot. And that's going to bring LBCC up to 2. Damage to the economy done a little bit. It's not going to necessarily force anyone to play up. LBCC, they're going to stick with their guns they have right now. Keep
That's
the
a good
Spectres. And just have the rest of the team play with a lower economic buy, play for the full round. And just hope they continue to do what they've been doing so far.
Here.
And for us, they're playing more of a default, expecting LBCC to play aggressive once more. But at the moment, though, LBCC, they're playing this very conservative, waiting for Fresno State to make the first engage. And fault line ready to become active, ready to go. And with the fault line coming on through, this is going to force Che to throw his paint shells and retreat back. Che trying to play off the engage. It's going to throw up the aftershock. It's going to be blinded smokes coming on through. And right now, LBCC, they're continuing to play back. As Fresno State, they're going to look to finally advance onto the site. Site cleared. LBCC, they're just playing for the post plant.
Works.
And Fresno State, they have a lot of their eggs in the basket here up at main. And LBCC ready to go. We're expecting positions up through main and through drop. And it's Che able to come away with 2 and is still up and alive. Che able to get another! And the paint shells end up coming away with 2! A great retake there. Che set up perfectly by his team.
Love explosions.
And the bonus is converted for the Vikings. And unfortunately for Fresno State, that's the risk you take into just advancing so much people all grouped up together. They didn't try to take up mid control. They didn't try to take position past doors.
Destroy them again.
And LBCC knew they didn't have that position, so they were able to just play conservatively.
Flashbang.
And you see here, off start, it's Che looking to push on through, able to get 1.
One enemy remaining.
And NECC and
Spike
Carbon
down, B.
are advancing on through, and once again, Vince is left all alone. And once again, the dogs, they're just getting steamrolled by this defense. And Vince still not spotted, but he's gonna have to put up a lot of work if he wants to be able to capitalize on anything. And that camera is gonna spot him as he's taking position up and spawn. And that's just gonna give them the free ult orb. And for us to take their Vince, I don't think he's gonna be able to convert with anything. We've seen Vince do some things before, but this is gonna have to be a task of itself. Swings on out, able to get 1 with the headhunter, but won't be able to convert the second. Ica waiting patiently. He just bring 1 headshot after another, waiting for him to swing out, and swings at the perfect time for Ica's favor. And as we advance on into the 5th round, Fresno State's going to be able to buy up once again. With Ralph going to be sticking with the Blade Storm. Things just not looking good. 1 assist in total for the Dogs. Whereas Carbon, he's just been able to set up this team perfectly every single round. And the 0 point is going to take position all the way through to the other side. And not going to be able to get anything. And Shea, playing a close position, has his showstopper available. Paint Show's going to come on through first, and it's going to spot Sushi out of position. And that Spike. The showstopper comes on through, and it's going to get Leaf. And that opens up another Paint Show's one, but it's not going to convert. Sky's able to get his first, but goes down
One
quickly
enemy remaining.
to Che. All up to Ralph, able to get one. A 1v3 for Ralph as the flash comes on through. First knife gonna miss.
Yikes.
Hold up, he's able to pick up a Vandal. He's able to get one of his own. 87 HP plus 24 shield. Che played up and main, has view of the Spike. Has an opportunity here on Thermo if he's able to convert, but no, he won't. It's gonna be Thermo taking the shot. Despite a great effort from Ralph. It's LBCC converting on another round.
Warning, Vincent Fabron is no longer permitted on facility grounds. Any person
And it seems like every time the Dogs have an opportunity, it's just Che just sitting there waiting to shut it down. Whether it's straight up face to face, or if it's just an aggressive play. Vince, he doesn't care. He's pushing on through. He's taking away as he's able to convert with 3. And he's opened up the doors for the Dogs.
One enemy remaining.
And now it's Vince. He's playing like a duelist. He does not care. As Vince, he's able to come away with 4. And the Dogs are finally on the board. And I think he just thought there, Vince. I think he was just sick of it. Sick of just LBCC just reading these plays. So he does something you don't expect. A chamber playing like a freaking duelist. And it works out in their favor. And the flash gonna come on through, but Sushi and Ralph are set up. A fall line I think would have been a better setup. Fresno State able to convert away with 2. LBCC able to convert with 1. As the lockdown is coming on through for Aiko.
Spike planted.
Flash coming on through. Not gonna get anyone from down below as a Sushi shutting down this push as has to be a Herculean effort for goal.
Last player standing.
But Sushi, or Skies rather, converts the final kill onto Aika. And the Dogs are finally showing some signs of life here on to Fracture. And finally, I'm liking this game plan the Dogs are coming in with. They're playing a little bit more aggressive. And it's kind of working
You want
out.
to play? Let's play.
The tour de force now active for Vince. But he's all the way on an A and pushing a flank. And here comes the Rolling Thunder. And unfortunately, it is going to get Ralph. And, oh, this is bad. As they did. And now that just sets up a Rolling Thunder for LBCC. But hold up, Vince. He's got the tour de force. He's able to get
Enemy
3.
remaining. Spike down.
A
B.
1v1. Aika, 5 HP. And he's going down to One of the most busted guns in Valorant. Vince swings out. He's going to be able to get 4 in a round once again. As Vince, he is putting up a yay-like performance in the past 3 rounds. A Herculean effort coming on in from the Fresno State IGL.
That's a good spot.
As Vince are slowly helping the dogs turn things around. And this is what we love to see out of Fresno State. And now Fresno State, they're looking a hard push into the A site. Ghoul still in this position out of the smoke. Someone better be watching it, ready and anticipating. And Ghoul peeks out, is finally taken out. But Fresno State, they've already advanced on through. And Vince on the flank. He is just steamrolling past LBCC right now. And it is giving Fresno State the confidence they need, but Che, he's still alive. Leaves it up to Skies and Vince. Che and Carbon both though. The flash comes on through. The showstopper denied. The fall line comes on out, and Skies able to pick up the last 2. And the dogs 1 away from tying things up. A great position there from Skies. The showstopper gets no value. By the time Che was able to swing out, before I can even say Rosa, he was taken out. And the dogs, after that round from Vince Cal, it just seems like they are playing on a whole other level. But the dogs have to be cautious, as even though Fresno State, they are advancing on through into A. As the nightfall comes on through, Ghoul actually smoked out. Has an opportunity to take out Ralph, and he's going to be able to do just that.
Down A.
LBCC had an opportunity for the flank, but they're looking to just play together with numbers. Vince, he's playing aggressive though, and he is taking fights he should not be taking. Even despite being suppressed and 30 HP, Vince has taken out 2 solo. Leads up to Carbon. He's going to spot Vince, and the Haunt is going to expose the position of Carbon. A fall line coming on through, but that's the flashpoint as well coming on through for both sides. He knows there's guys out. He knows the position of Sushi as well. But with that cross point advantage coming on through for the dogs, it's going to be Skies with the final kill. And ladies and gentlemen in chat, things are all tied up. Vince with 13 so far on the round. Sushi turning things on up as well with 10. And we're looking at the economy for LBCC. They got 1 hero rifle left in Ghoul, and that's it. Both the Rolling Thunder and the Orbital Strike available for the side of Fresno State as well. And his fall line's gonna spot Ica, and Ica can't even react. And LBCC is gonna be smoked out, and Fresno State has a full 5-man execute on the site.
Spike planted.
And it's going to be LBCC forced to play on the retake. The Proud are going to regain position, and Che taken out on the flank. Vince is just reading LBCC's number. But LBCC trying to make an advancement, but they're not going to be able to do anything. As Fresno State take their first lead since the 3rd round, back on ascent, and heading into this final round on the defense. It's gonna be Skylab, the coach for LBCC, taking a timeout, and this gives both LBCC and myself a chance to catch our breath, because we need to take a timeout here, because the dogs have just turned it up. Fresno State took a slow, methodical approach. And LBCC, they were just eating it up. But then out of nowhere, Vince, he himself just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm doing things myself. He read the position perfectly off that 4th round that I have been, or that 6th round I've been dying to talk about. Because it's often where you have a breach, take position up at doors to set up the raise. And after the paint shell's coming on through, he just pushed his way through, and that just allowed him to just steamroll and play like a jet. And that has somehow steamrolled and got Fresno State back into the driver's seat. And a double fall line comes on through, and here comes the paint shells. Gonna deal a little bit of damage. The orbital strike coming on through as well. They got a little bit of value, but nothing much other than a little bit of damage coming on through from the paint shells. The Rolling Thunder comes on through for both sides as well. An orbital strike is gonna spot up BCC Carbon, and he is taken out. But Vince, for the first time in a long time, is taken out, and LBCC are pivoting over as Fresno State pivots on over to the B side. Dushi gonna have the first engage. They don't take out the tripwire though.
Spike down B.
On my wire.
And Thermo taking position, sprays on through. LBCC
My eyes are down.
have numbers.
Spike planted.
I must wait.
But
long.
School coming on through on the flank, able to take down one.
One enemy remaining.
Leaf able to take down one, but won't be able to do much more than that. Ika converts 3 on the round, and things are going to be equalized heading into the half.
Switching sides.
And the timeout came in at a crucial time. Both teams came in with kind of the same game plan. You saw that. Both fall lines, exact same time. Both Rolling Thunders, same time. The difference was the orbital strikes. As Fresno State were able to convert on theirs. And as we're looking, LBCC coming in with kind of the same attack as Fresno State. Having 2 push on in from bridge, with 1 playing on the flank. But Tony Vince gonna be spotted with a frenzy in hand, forced to retreat on back. Does have 1 headhunter bullet, but I don't think he's gonna take any shots. Sky's playing for the crossfire. But they gotta watch out as they have trouble playing on through from the other side. But it's gonna be Vince, able to at least convert, get his 1. Paint shot's coming on through though, and it's gonna force the rest of the team to play out, but hold up, Carbon's gonna be spotted.
Spike down B.
And a couple
One
exchanges
enemy
coming on through,
remaining.
makes this a 2v1.
Last player
Ika
standing.
left out alone.
Hey.
Dushi takes a swing, but it's gonna be Ika converting on through with the ace for LBCC. Alongside the 1v2 clutch. A good effort for Fresno State trying to come on through for the other side. But unfortunately for them, just simply does not go into the favor. And now looking at the way things are set up here. LBCC more taking a conservative approach. But Vince and the rest of the team, they're pushing on up. Leaf swing on out first, and he's going to be able to take down Ghoul. And that's going to allow LBCC to push on through. Are they expecting Che? And it looks like they're not as Sushi goes down. And Vince able to get 1, but 1 by 1, the
One
dogs will roll
enemy
down,
remaining.
just leaving it up to Leaf. Leaf has a position here, but he's just got a shorty. Down to 2 HP, he goes down to Ika. And the anti-eco goes in favor of LBCC. A little bit of damage done by the dogs. But will it be significant enough as they head on into this bonus round for LBCC? Gonna have to be cautious though, as Vince, he's coming on through with the op. The 0 point, you're gonna negate him from being able to TP, so he's gonna have to just take one shot and fly away. And here comes 0 point, but Vince not even gonna give him the chance. He's fault line though. He takes a shot, but he doesn't take on Ica. Ica still has an opportunity to get res. Susu trying to push on up, trying to play alongside Sky. Susu's able to take down 3.
One enemy remaining.
But Ralph comes on through for the flank, able to take down Thermo, and it's Skies playing as a hero there. And he does pick up Vince's op as well. So the bonus denied despite taking the op out of play. And now it's the dogs able to narrow down the lead to 1 as we head into an even gun round once again. Full rifles in play. Well, rifles and an operator.
Where are you?
And Ralph taking more of an aggressive angle. Has an opportunity to play off the Sim Beacon, but it's going to be Ghoul opting to play back. The operator taken out of play though, as Thermo wins the lurking fight, and I think he's going to be able to take up this operator into his hands for the post plant for LBCC. The camera though, able to clear out short. The aftershock though, gonna be able to delay this push for just a little bit. Skies though taking out the lone man on site. And it's execute set up perfectly for LBCC. As that just leaves it up to Sushi and Leaf. Ralph up as well though, coming on through on the flank, able to take down 1.
Can't use that.
The fall line not gonna spot Sushi though. And as the fall line comes back into play, that's gonna be able to get 2. But unfortunately, Ika's still up and alive. Leaf able to get out 1. Leaves himself in a 1v3, but he won't be able to do much more than that. Able to take down Che, but that will be it. He dies at Gen, and LBCC are back up on the board. And ever since they started that defense half for LBCC on Ascent, it has been Ica that has essentially been the MVP for LBCC. Just the way he's been able to set up his team throughout alongside Carbon. And just set up Che for success as well. It's just been a recipe for perfection for them as they're looking to continue their success on the attack. Vince, the lone man on B. 8 bullets in hand. He takes the shots, but gets Che down just
Player standing.
to none. And with the rest of the team trying to come on through on the flank, LBCC read it perfectly. Skies all alone with 86 HP. Gonna take out the tripwire, and that's gonna expose where Skies is at for the rest of the LBCC. Just taking shots, looking to clear out every angle.
Satisfied.
Wow! He pre-fires, able to take down 1. Gonna have to be cautious though. The flash and the fault line can come in at any point. Here comes the fault line. No one swings off of it though.
Where are you?
And here comes the haunt. Not gonna spot that man in canteen. Che is low. And here comes the crossfire of 3 guns aiming his way. And LBCC convert 2 straight, and that's gonna bring them up to double digits. A dangerous spot here if you're Fresno State, as you have yet, other than on that one round, that sole 3rd round, you have yet to come up with an answer on how you're going to stop this team. How are you going to stop LBCC? Because you need to start converting rounds on the defense if you want to force the map 3. And a lot of utility coming on through. That's why they kind of convoluted as here comes Rolling Thunder.
Last player standing.
As the Rolling Thunder set up to perfection. As Ralph negates the flawless. And Fresno State, they took a gamble stack and wore to perfection. But unfortunately for them, it just set up a perfect Rolling Thunder. And Fresno State 2 away from falling once again. And Dragoons is going to take a timeout here. As the Dogs, they've been struggling. They've been taking a lot of these aggressive angles, and it has just not worked out in their favor. Because of the Rolling Thunder, Vince just got set up perfectly for Che for the crossfire. And with the way they were set up in position throughout the whole entire B site, the rest of the team were just able to push their way up through main. And one by one, the Dogs just fell. Not able to do anything. And we'll see what game plan comes on through as Fresno State. They're on an eco round, which is not viable. They're going to try to force up as much as they can. Vince going to have the tour de force in hand. But even then, Vince going to force to still by skies. And the rest of the team forcing up as much as they can. The tour de force now activated. Fresno State playing a little bit more of an aggressive angle. But Vince gets no value. As LBCC, they are quickly pivoting onto the A site. Flash is coming on through. Every single smoke deployed. And Ralph takes position, but doesn't spot Ica. Numbers not in the Dogs' favor. The Nightfall and the Orbital Strike coming on through. But here comes the showstopper. And it's going to be able to get one. And this game plan kind of helps the Dogs. Skies, the last man alive. The spike, though, already planted. Thermo on the flank. Oh, the timing. Alright, he knows position of one. The North that's going to come on through, but Skies able to get out goal. Okay, leaves in a 1v1. He's going to hop off the spike. Takes the shot, but won't be able to convert. Thermo ends off the round.
Match point.
And now LBCC at series point. And what to do if you're the Dogs. I mean, the Dogs had the read. They were able to rotate well. But Vince just overextended. Just caught off by Ica and Ghoul, who have just been playing together this whole entire attack. And once again, they're just able to just catch Vince off guard. And Vince finally able to get a trade, but one by one, Fresno State's falling once again. And the Orbital Strike's going to come on through. It knows Leaf's position. Leaf with just a Spectre won't be able to do enough.
Attackers win.
And the Dogs, they're going to fall once again. And despite the best effort from Fresno State, they just simply can't get anything done on the defense. And they're going to fall into a 13-7 fashion here against LBCC. And unfortunately for Fresno State, that is not a good sign for them, as they are going to fall to LBCC in a 2-0 fashion. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. That still sets them up with the tie with Sacramento State Green. A win against LBCC would have set them up for a chance at playoffs. Would have essentially potentially gave them some padding just in case if Sacramento State does get another win. But now that they go down to LBCC, that still sets them up at a tie with Sacramento State. And no, Sacramento State have a better map differential, have one map up on Fresno State, and they have more rounds as well. Things have to be turned up for Fresno State as we head into the second half of the season, because they still got a tough schedule ahead. They still have to face CSU Fullerton, who are currently 4-0 on the season and have only dropped one map. They still have to go up against Cal Poly Panoma and Bronco Esports back, who are also 4-0. But then after that, all they have left is CSU San Marco, which could be tallied up to a win because they have yet to win a single match all season. But even then, things are looking tough for Fresno State right now. You got to find a shift in your playbook. I like what we saw in Fracture there at the tail end, or what we saw from Fracture at the beginning. We saw some potential there, but I think Vince just kind of played a little bit more aggressive than what he should have. That and a lot of the executes for LBCC were just set up to a T. They were set up perfectly for them. We'll see how the Dogs are going to be able to respond next week, as they are going to be heading in and facing, I believe they are going to be facing CSU. Yes, they will be taking on CSU Fullerton. We'll see how things play there, as that match is going to be set up next week at 7:30 Pacific once again. But as for Fresno State action, we are going to be having another broadcast on Thursday, as we will be broadcasting the lower bracket finals of the GG Beach tournament, as the Fresno State Overwatch team is going to be in the lower bracket finals against CSU Long Beach, looking to complete that loser bracket run and look for a rematch against Cal Poly Panoma Esports. Will they be able to convert and get the revenge, at an opportunity out of revenge? We will find out on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Right here on twitch.tv/Fresno State Esports. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning on into tonight's broadcast. If you haven't already, please drop a follow here on the Twitch channel. If you also haven't done so already, if you want to stay updated on anything Fresno State Esports related, go ahead and drop us a follow over on Twitch and on Instagram as well. To stay notified on any potential streams in the future, go ahead and join our Discord and get the community role so you can be notified, or just hit the bell down below to where you can be notified for any future matches. But with that being said, thank you once again for tuning on in. From the Fresno State Esports media team and the Fresno State Valorant team, I'm Ricky J. Peace and love, and go Dogs. We will see you guys in the next one. See ya.